Good morning, visionaries. I hope that you can hear me. I don't know if I didn't check my sound. I'm just going to check quickly if I am live, because that would help. And if the voice, morning, yep, all good, everything's working well. Awesome. So I'm a little bit late. Apologies. Today's training, hello Sudha. Today's training is how to build a brand that influences generations. Now, the reason I'm late is because, first of all, I am a mom at school holidays, and our children in Austria, all the women and men that have children, they have 9 weeks holiday, and my kids are being entertained. And this week, my middle daughter is in a soccer camp. And last night, we went to go and watch Hobbs and Shaw. So we got home really late after midnight, and I slept in, and I'm tired. So I look like shit, and I really don't care, because obviously I care about myself, but my sleep was more important than getting all dolled up, put it that way, to do a live. But the live is really important to me, and the training on how to build a brand that influences generations. Now, as I was preparing for this training, if you haven't read the case study, I will put a link in the comments to read the case study that I have done with Jo Courtney from Inner Synergy to show her experience on how to build a brand that influences generations, and not always just hear me talking about it, and to see where she came from, what were the fears, what were the doubts, what were the, where did she need discernment when making a decision, what were the decisions that she needed to make. As I was preparing for this live training, I've been receiving a lot of emails, and the messages on social media at the moment is, oh man, there is so much despondency. There is a lot of economic crisis, economic dips, which always happen every 5 to 10 years. There's always happening in economies where the economy takes a dive, where clients aren't paying, where customers aren't coming, everyone's tighter with their money. And you just see more and more, on the one hand, of marketing and advertising from entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs and businesses, there's a difference, where they like pushing their, sales funnels, what's going to help you. Website is what's going to help you. You need branding to help you. How to build a brand that influences generations. Storytelling, lose weight, emotional, fix your inner child. There's shadow work. Just so many different things on this hand that's being marketed and advertised to me, you, in order to get your business further. But where the focus is at the moment, where the main focus is yes, I need all of this. I know that I need it. I want it. I really want to be involved with it. But where my focus is, and where the crux is at the moment, is that right now, around the world, there is an economic dip, and the focus is on, I can't do it. There's lack. There's a lot of lack. There's a lot of despondency. I just want to give up. I just keep doing. I'm not getting anywhere. And all these other people are doing so fantastic because they can market and advertise and build brands that influence generations. So I wanted to do 2 things for this live training. It's very, very heavy on me to share this with you, and it's very emotional for me to share with you, because I've been in business 11 years, and economic dips come every 5 to 10 years, but this is probably my 3rd time going through whenever there's an economic dip. And it's not easy when you're in that crux of despondency and wanting to give up and feeling like a failure, where things aren't going right. There are 2 things that I need to offer you as a training for today. Besides going to read the case study, to see how it works, to see how I work with my clients. One And this is what I tell my clients the most. When you're in that dip and you aren't, or in a state how you are at the moment, or things just aren't going and moving, and you feel like you're doing, and yes, I want to build a brand that influences generations, and I want the branding and the marketing. You will not get anywhere, and trust me on this, because I've not only been in business for 11 years, but I've been in my field and professions for over 35 years, and anyone can tell you this that's moved, you know, whether it's some celebrity or whatever. You will not succeed in anything that you do if you do not believe in what you're doing. And by believing, this means that there's no evidence that what you are doing is actually being received. All right? That believing in yourself means that despite whatever is happening around you, whether the world is crumbling, whether there are arguments, chaos, clutter, people rising up around you, you have to believe in yourself, not necessarily the professions. You have to believe in yourself and that you have a purpose, and that purpose is what assists you day in and day out to dominate your lane. And by dominating your lane, it means I'm not seeing what that person's doing, or that person's doing, or what Sashka's doing, or that shaman, or that funnel strategist, or copywriter, or VA, or tour agency, or whatever. But you are looking at you, and you're dominating your own lane, and your own lane means your purpose. Why are you here on earth? What you are doing here. And you get up and you do it and you dominate it. And dominate it in terms of your thought leadership. The things that make you angry. Not ranting, but having solutions for the things that make you angry, because you believe in these things. You believe in your opinions. You believe in your experience and your knowledge. Not dead dog stories that hold you down and, oh, poor me. We've all been through a lot of shit. I am grateful that in this lifetime, I haven't been through horrific things that I've had my clients, you know, where I've heard them go through things where I'm like, fuck, I don't even know if I would have even been able to come out of that. But I'm inspired by them. And it's so important that no matter what you're doing, if you are going to build anything, a business, a brand, be an entrepreneur, whatever, you have to believe in yourself. If you're not going to get anywhere. And that belief in your purpose, as I said, you need to dominate your lane, moving forward, and believing in yourself and not your profession. Because there are a lot of people there are a lot of people in my profession. In this group, there are a lot of people that are doing advertising, websites, branding, marketing, sales funnels, copywriting, videos, photography. I need to switch this freaking email off, it's pinging at me. There are a lot of people in my own profession that, you know, but dominating the profession isn't my purpose. My purpose is to work with creative visionaries so that you can see the potential in you and the potential on how broad and how big and how expansive your purpose is, and how to step into the leadership to lead that purpose that was bestowed upon you. So that's the first thing, is believing in yourself. And that is one of the biggest things when I was working with Joe and with my other clients. Do you know how many times we go through doubt? Every single freaking day. Now, despite my success, all right, I still have doubt. Last night, driving home after Hobbs and Shaw, I get so, when I enjoy a movie and the graphics and the cinematography and the acting and all these special effects, and I'm always despondent, because it's an old pattern that I go to. I was like, I wish I was a Hollywood actress and I was famous and I could experience, not be, but experience that big screen and the fun and the acting and cameras and the stunts and just all of those things. And then I get despondent. And then I go into this old pattern, which I've worked on, but I go into this old pattern that always comes up where I'm like, man, what I'm doing, it's a load of shit. Nobody cares what I'm doing. Who the fuck cares who wants to know their life purpose? Who wants to build a brand? Seriously, like marketing, you can go do it yourself. Lots of people do it yourself. Why would you want to actually even be around me? You know, what's so special about me? And then it's just like, whilst this horrible pattern is going on, and I now I know that when the pattern is there, and when you're in this dip, that the pattern is, if I can physically, this was it, put it outside of me. And this is, where's the camera? This is it over here. I observe it. I'm not in it. I don't be the pattern. I'm observing my pattern. I'm going, oh, okay, I see you. I acknowledge you. I know you've brought me this far, but now it's time for you to move on. And then I leave it and I put it, it must move on. It's just a thought, a passing thought. It's a cloud. Poof, 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 that comes past. All right? So when that goes past, then what comes up is the strength, is the knowledge, the experience, my inner soul, my purpose, my belief in me, what I can do, what I was born to do, what I am born to do. And then that comes forth even stronger. But to be honest, I passed out. I was out like a light last night, and I wake up this morning. Okay, where am I? What am I doing? Oh yes, I have to do this today. So that's, you know, when you believe in yourself, you're able to move forward and dominate your lane easier. And the second thing, which was related to this idea, is that it's surrendering. Often we get into this, everything tenses up, like all the energy tenses up, and you become this like rock, and this rock that just moves forward, and then you start becoming this huge boulder, and then you just like, I'm gonna boulder everything down. It's gonna go, 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 do. And then you get tired and you take a rest, and it's like, oh, I can't anymore. I've got bills to pay, I've got my kids to look after, I've got, I don't know, you know, I've got medical things to pay for, I'm not healthy, I'm not ill, things aren't running well. In that time of surrender is where you're able to create a habit of this, where you see this outside of yourself and observe it and see it and going, oh, okay, but it's just a passing cloud. And then to remember your thing, your belief. I think I'm going to add on a third thing for building a brand that influences generations when you're moving forward. And that is, I would not be where I am today had I not reached out and asked for help. I mentioned in one of my lives, I can't remember, that one of my lives, for me, I've always found it very difficult, that's the wrong word, to trust people. And it wasn't a thing of, I don't trust you because I have trust issues. It was the trust when speaking to someone, like I'd speak to someone, but it was the thing of, you don't get me. I feel like I'm so all over the place, and philosophy and psychology and all these different things in my brain. And when I spoke to someone, they didn't get me. And then they go off on their own tangent, speaking about themselves all the time, where I'd be like, so there wasn't trust there. So it wasn't that I was hesitant to trusting someone. It was just that I just didn't, you know, no, you don't get me. When I started realizing that as an entrepreneur, so I said in the beginning, there's a difference between being a business owner and an entrepreneur. Now, an entrepreneur will find loopholes everywhere, and you'll make things happen because you see things that someone in a business where things are steady and running easy. Now, a business can also be an entrepreneur. It's the same thing, but they're separate as well. So when you're a business owner, things kind of run smoother. Whereas an entrepreneur, you're taking way more risks, like way more risks. Like sometimes, you know, your bank account's always in minus, and you're betting on things that other people are like, are you crazy? But you know beyond a shadow of doubt it's going to work. So when you're in that space of entrepreneurship, you see things that other people don't see. So you're able to move forward even more, and you're grasping things, and you're coming up with ideas and solutions that when they actually come into action and are what's the word, and they're implemented and become fruitful, people are like, I never would have thought about that. And it's because those entrepreneurs are the ones that push the envelope. They're pushing it all the time, but you cannot, and you I wouldn't say should, but it shouldn't be that you need to do it on your own. We rise together. We can only do this together. So it's finding those people, whether it's accountability partner, a mentor, a coach, a mastermind, friends, family, which is rare, but friends, family that really stick to you and help you through those times where you're like, I'm having a wobble, and I just feel like I'm on burnout. I don't know where I'm going with this. And where they're like, what's the purpose, babe? What's the purpose? What is it that you believe in? Who are you? Do you remember who you are? Those two things are like, woof, yes, I remember who I am. I remember why I'm doing this. I'm going to add a fourth thing for the training because something just occurred to me. I give a lot of answers. Coaches, mentors, online, offline, they give a lot of answers. It's basically on a silver platter that so many people, myself included, you know, where you get the answers. It's like, here, do it. What we don't do is you take all this information, you put it in here, and because you're not believing in your purpose and you're in this whole pattern, you don't see what you've been given, so you don't implement it. You don't take that knowledge and put it into action to actually become fruitful, because we're waiting for the big epiphany where it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. It actually works. But nothing will work until you actually put it into action, and that forms into your thing. So all these marketing tools, website, copywriting, the videos, Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, social media, events, flyers, brochures, whatever it is, all your branding, they're just empty tools. It's like having an empty bottle, and you need to fill the bottle with you, your belief in you and my purpose. And then you go to everyone, you're going, sniff the wonder of Fashka. Isn't it beautiful? And then you believe in yourself even more, because you are the evidence, rather than waiting for the evidence to come to you to prove to you that you have worth and value. And then you move. When you are in that state of dominating your lane, believing in yourself, believing in your purpose, getting into action and creating momentum, and you're in your lane, dominating your lane, that's where all the success lies. Irrespective if there's an economic dip, you're feeling despondent, you're having wobbles, you don't have support at the moment, you don't have all the money coming in at the moment, which is a byproduct of all of this energy. So when you're moving forward and you're learning about yourself, and the clients are seeing you, clients or customers are seeing you, and they're attracted to you, then you're able to also take that knowledge and implement it, because it feels right. And then you start implementing things, and then you start seeing results, your results, how you want it. And whoever tells you that when you take a website and you put it online, that is going to get you clients, without saying it needs to be you, here's the website, you need to fill yourself up, fill that website up with your stuff. And if it's not filled up with you, then no one's going to see it. No one's going to recognize it, or I can't think of the word now, not recognize it, but anerkennen. This German word. No one's going to anerkennen it. And it's going to hold you back from giving your all, giving all your out there, all right? And when you put yourself out there dominating your lane, That's when the thought leadership becomes stronger. That's when your purpose becomes stronger, and people notice you more because you are doing what you were born and destined to do without being distracted by everyone else. And the knowledge that you're putting or learning and putting into your website, for example, when you put that in there and implement it your way, how it works for you and your soul group, then you're building a brand that's going to start influencing generations because it's yours. All these marketing tools, all us marketers are all the same with the same tools. What makes us stand apart and unique is what I have to offer my soul group. So you're really niching down. I went to a networking event on Wednesday. I was considering joining the networking event again. I'd been there for 3 years ago. And when I sat there and the guy said to me, you know, you really need to know your audience. And I was like, I know who my audience are. They're creative visionaries. And he was like, wow, that's a real niche. And I'm going, yeah. And the people here, because it's not the people here that I'm speaking to, it's their circle of people that, you know, as a networking event, that you monetize that network. And their network, if they're like this, I cannot imagine that their network is anywhere around creative visionaries, because they're so confined to traditionalism and conventionalism and just staying in the borders, and they were bored, and there was no excitement about what they're doing. It was just a profession. They were just speaking about professions. I was like, I want the Steve Jobs. I want the Elon Musks. I want the ones with the craziest ideas where everyone's going, that is the most pathetic idea I've ever heard in my entire life. It'll never happen. Impossible. The more impossible, the more possible it is for me to assist you to make that happen. Anyway, so I'm getting really excited about that. So that is my training for today. So 1 is to believe in yourself. 2, surrender. 3, I forgot what it was. And 4, putting that knowledge that you learn into action. You have to, what you get on a silver platter, you have to put into action. If you don't put it into action, there's no fruits. You can't just get something and not plant the seed and water it. It's not going to grow. And I have proof because I don't have a green thumb. If you saw my plants in my office, God bless them, they're not very healthy. So that's my training for today. I'm excited. If you're watching #replay, let me know what your thoughts are. Any epiphanies, let me know as well if you have any epiphanies, because I'd love to hear that. And if you're in a dive at the moment, you're not feeling having wobbles, and you feel you need support as a creative visionary, I encourage you to get in contact with me, to join my mastermind, which starts on the 1st to the 5th of November. When you surround yourself with people that are, I heard someone yesterday was interviewed, not like-minded, because, and I love the way he said this, not to be around people that are like-minded, because who wants to, as a creative visionary, who wants to be around people that think exactly the same as you? You want people that challenge your thoughts, but have similar values, or similar, not the same, similar values and similar paths that are able to push you up further in order to dominate your lane stronger. And I was like, yeah, I like that. So we had a good discussion over there. So if you're looking for a mastermind that's going to push you up and dominate your lane stronger, then PM me. Then I think it's time that we get on the mastermind. And just let's do a Dory. Keep swimming. Let's keep swimming, let's keep swimming, let's just move forward. Dominate your lane, be surrounded with people that encourage you, and you need to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, not your profession, it's just going to take a nosedive. And if you don't know how to believe in yourself because you don't know who you are, join my mastermind. 1st of November is when we kick off with the retreat in Tyrol, 1st to the 5th of November, where we will first do the purpose finding your purpose for your brand, and then moving into the mastermind. All right, guys, have an awesome weekend. I know I certainly will be having an awesome weekend. I'm going to have my hair done in the afternoon. I'm going to make myself look beautiful. Love it. Have an awesome day. I love you all, and send me all your gorgeous messages. Hey, Joe, Susan, Karen. Hey, Renee is also here. Janine, have a good flight. And Sudha. Thank you so much for being with me here live, and I'll speak to you all again soon. I hope you enjoyed that training. Love you lots. Bye.